Good evening, people of YouTube. Once again, it is the Reverend.
The theme here.
And Grey Mouse 1.
The three middle-aged dudes just bullshitting about nothing. We are back, and this is our second video of the night. We're going to continue on with the video game news, covering a few rumors, actually one rumor and a tidbit of news that, well, wasn't so happy. First rumor of the night, actually of the last week, is the fact that it is rumored that Resident Evil 7 is going to be officially announced at E3 2016. It is like the, what is it, 20th anniversary? 20th anniversary of the Resident Evil series. And you've heard us go on about it before. We've speculated, Theme himself many times has speculated that instead of seeing a new remake or remaster or anything like that, he'd much rather see Resident Evil 7.
Yes.
Looks like, well, if the rumors are true, it looks like Konami isn't going to give you shit. Fuck Konami, all right? Capcom may actually go ahead and follow up and give you something that you want. Whether or not it ends up being that way is something else altogether. But gentlemen, thoughts?
If it is a rumor at this point, but if this is true, then just make it correct. Go back to what made the original Resident Evils great.
Without the tank controls.
Without the tank controls.
Go back, pay homage to the Resident Evil fans of old. If this is going to be the 20th anniversary plus a sequel, then please make it just like those games. Resident Evils 1, 2, 3, and Code Veronica. Go back to those. Go back to full third person. Go back. Don't do that over the shoulder shit. Don't make it a rail shooter. Don't tone down the violence. Have it a zombie fucking game.
Yeah.
Or disease motherfuckers. Make it something like that and make it an outstanding story. Have 2 or 3 characters going around the city blasting fucking zombie. Please. Make it, I don't give a fuck about the main characters, race or gender, what you can have trans, I don't care. Just have it a great fucking game. I'll pull out my wallet, I'll pull out cards or money, and I'll buy that shit. Just do the right thing, Capcom, and satisfy your fans, because we've been wanting this for a long fucking time. And if E3 is where you're gonna announce it, then bring it, show some footage, just fucking do everything right.
With my thoughts, I echo pretty much what the theme is saying. I want them to go back to what initially got Resident Evil, from the get-go. It's a horror game. It's a survival horror game.
Yeah.
Whether or not it's a third-person, first-person shooter, whatever, but just bring back the horror, make it action adventure. We want a survival horror type genre, and this is Capcom's opportunity to excel. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was 1996 was when Resident Evil first came out. Let's continue the let's continue the story. And again, I don't care who the main protagonist is, male, female, whatever. I really don't. Just make it the way it's supposed to be. The fans of the game, and new fans can love it.
Yeah.
And I just really think that the ball is in their court, and it's up to them to do the game right this time. Listen to the feedback of the fans, and just stay true to what made Resident Evil good. Zombies, survivor, horror.
Don't have DLC stages or DLC guns or DLC modes or don't make us have to be online to play a one fucking player.
And and you don't need a fucking multiplayer for this game. We don't need a multiplayer.
You know what? A multiplayer would be nice if it's done correctly. And what I mean by that is if you are separate parts of the city and you have to meet. Okay, fine.
No, what they're gonna do? No, because no.
What, I'm asking for too much?
Yeah, because right now you got Call of Duty who does zombies.
No, that's first person shit. No.
But I'm just saying, that's what I don't want. That's what I'm just completely, no, don't want.
Okay, more option. Having an option You can have it.
No. Delete.
Okay.
Control Alt Delete that. No.
What about the Left 4 Dead shit? Yeah, that. Yeah.
No, look, Left 4 Dead. I mean, you can put. I would say. Okay, let me redo this. Multiplayer where 4 people can play at the same time. Okay. But as a multiplayer where you go around and Call of Duty style bullshit, no, that is not.
No. All I'm saying is at the same time, you both.
Yeah.
No, not opponents. I'm talking about you two playing.
No, yeah, exactly. I don't want none of that. But you know what?
I'm not talking about versus.
Let's not make Let's not make a versus game.
No. I'm talking about two players.
One thing too about Resident Evil 7, this rumor, is that I don't want multiplayer to be the main focus, and then let's do a campaign, tag a campaign on at the end of the game. Too many games nowadays are like that. You know, it's like the campaign was an afterthought. Like, oh shit, we forgot to do a campaign. Let's hurry up and do it. No.
Well, let's see here. As far as it being announced is a rumor, but where it all started was that there's a Japanese analyst named Serkan Toto who wrote on Twitter on, let me see here, the 17th, which is about a little less than 5 days ago, that that Resident Evil is in development and that it will be shown at E3, and that they were returning back to their horror roots. And now this is the one thing that he said that kind of makes me worry. Essentially, look, the entire game will go back to the RE's horror roots and essentially be a clean slate. If that means fucking reboot, fuck you, okay? That's all I'm going to say right now, all right? Because we've had enough of that bullshit.
No,
and I'm not even going into details.
No.
But what I would like to see is, along the same lines as what the team was saying, is give me an A-side, B-side, like they did with the games in A-side, B-side quests on Resident Evil 2, and that'd be great. You can handle multiplayer that way. Co-op, where you have the different players doing different objectives in different parts, and then their stages or their progress intersects on each other.
That's what I mean.
That'd be great. Don't do this Resident Evil 2 Revelations episodic bullshit either, okay? Don't fucking do that. All right, Capcom, if you do that, I swear I'm not going to pick up your shit unless it goes on fucking Steam sale where it's only 90% off and shit. Or if it's on fucking Humble Bundle. I can go ahead and get a shitload of your games for like $7, okay?
They'll leave out the arcade mode, man.
Yeah. No, arcade mode is fine. But
leave it out.
No, arcade mode is fine. But the thing that I want is that if they're going to actually go back to being a survival horror, if they're going back to their horror roots, I understand that they can't go back to the old tank controls and the jump scares and a whole bunch of zombies trying to grab you through the fucking planks and that are covering up the fucking window. That may not pass anymore, especially in a post fucking let's see here, Walking Dead world and a Left 4 Dead world where zombies have been all over the fucking place. No, I see what you're doing. Fuck that shit too. Fuck.
You know what?
As soon as you started saying that, Reverend, that's all I can imagine them doing at this point.
No.
Because that's where everything is jumping to. I can see that happening. As soon as you went through the explanation, that's why I was like, no, you went there. And that's what popped in my head. Yes. Because they want zombies coming at them.
Look, having the option, like Gray Mouse, I don't mind having the option, but don't make it hinge on that. Please don't shoehorn your players and your fan base into that. For the love of God, don't do that. Okay?
Well, you brought up a good point too, is that, there's enough lore for Resident Evil to continue versus going back and like, doing a the reboot. I hate saying that word, but that would be really stupid. You're going to call your game Resident Evil 7, but you're going to reboot it? That don't make no damn sense.
Yeah.
In numerically or normal, it just doesn't make any sense to do that. So I don't think they'll go that far. But I wouldn't put anything past them. I mean, for Christ's sake, they didn't put an arcade mode in Street Fighter V.
Yeah.
But with the jump scares and whatnot, I mean, I still think that jump scares can still work. But you know what? You know what I think they should borrow from? I think they should borrow from Alien Isolation. Borrow that style of, I'm not saying stealth, but that style of gameplay to where it's where you have to be careful and be very, precise in what you're doing.
Well, they have certain Resident Evil games. They have certain Resident Evil games that if you're not careful against a certain enemy, something can happen to you. You just die immediately. You can get ate up or anything.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And
no,
with Alien Isolation, I mean, if you step in the wrong place or you make too much noise, you're done.
I think that's
a whole game like that though. You have to have certain parts.
Yeah, I think that's wrong approach to go ahead and take with a survival horror game, because if you're sitting there, yeah, with survival horror you got to be careful, but if you're sitting there trying to abide by hardcore stealth, that just
no. See, you misunderstood. That's what I said.
No.
I'm not saying turning Resident Evil into a stealth game. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that type of jump scare that they have in Alien Isolation. If you guys haven't played it yet, I mean, you die in fucked up ways that you don't even know that you fucked up until you're dead.
No, here's
what I'm saying.
People try to play it as a normal first-person shooter. That's why they died so fucking much.
Here's the thing about that. My concern is not the jump scares. When I mentioned that is that, look, I have a hard time picturing Resident Evil 1 playing out and being as accepted as it was back in 1996 in a post-Walking Dead, in a post-World War Z, in a post-fucking 28 years later.
So you're saying,
okay?
So you're basically saying that we've become, what's that word I'm looking for?
We've been very desensitized to zombies.
Desensitized with zombies.
All right,
you're right.
Yeah, and the thing is that when you sit there and you take into account, okay, zombies are they're just as bad at being overused and overpopulated a villain in games as
aliens.
No, even worse and even more readily recognizable as Redskins in fucking cowboy movies. Okay. if you want to be completely honest.
Yeah, it's a to be honest, I mean it's a beaten trope that's been in there for, I mean, we had zombie movies since the 50s or the 40s. I mean,
look, I'm not saying that it's not going to work, but the approach as far as to setting up the player and handling characters within the game has got to be handled differently.
Mm-hmm.
And
as long as you don't have the Michael Jackson's Thriller playing when the zombies are coming, then fine.
Dude, if they did that, I would fucking buy that day one. Okay, if they give me a Thriller pre-order fucking bonus, I would be all over that.
You know what?
Zombies doing this now?
You know what? I would too.
Yes.
Honestly, I would mark out and I would buy that. Just don't have the Michael Jackson Glove edition. Oh, but if you have a Thriller edition of that, yeah.
Dude, if they had a glove that was
October 31st.
If they had a glove that was interactive for the fucking PSVR fucking Kinect, I might even shell out for that.
So you're gonna be doing this? Did you be doing?
Okay, Resident Evil 7, make a zombie mode.
Hey, that's one of the things that they actually, I think they actually had available, and also Revelations, and also in Raccoon City. was that if you got eaten up and you got turned into a zombie, you could actually go after your partners, which is cool. I'm not shitting on that. What I am woefully worried about is that whole being remade, all right, and losing its identity. If Resident Evil becomes Left 4 Dead, that's bad. If Resident Evil becomes Call of Duty, that's bad. If Resident Evil becomes anything else other than fucking Resident Evil, and look, Capcom, I know you've expanded the lore big enough. It doesn't necessarily need to be Jill and what's his name? God damn it. Shit.
You're not talking about Bobby, are you?
No, Jill and fucking the other main dude. Yeah, Jill, Chris, Claire, Leon. It doesn't necessarily need to be those particular core characters.
For some people, it does.
Yeah, I mean, no, I would have to sit there and say that they would probably have to show up sooner or later in the game, but it doesn't necessarily need to be them. But please don't lose your soul over making a different Resident Evil. All right. Any other thoughts?
No.
Okay. Now, moving on to a little bit more depressing news. A game that we know will not come out in the future is the new Disney Infinity game. Disney Infinity 4.0, or the next Disney Infinity title, was canceled by Disney Games. They sat there and they went ahead, they saw the landscape, and they pretty much said, thank you, but no thank you. Basically, on the 10th, they announced to the world saying that we are not going to continue on with the Infinity series. There are still games that we have set for the Disney Infinity 3.0 run of figure expansions that we're going to take out. We're going to let that out, but canceling the series has pretty much left a big gaping hole. Just a few numbers out there. Let's see here. Canceling the series, Disney is taking on a $147 million charge to axe the division. Basically, the cut and everything else is going to lead to a lot of people losing jobs, studios shutting down, and the only thing that really makes sense as far as their explanations as to why they're doing this is that they pretty much saw their end of what they were projecting as far as the sales of the Disney Infinity figures and the games across all platforms kind of platform out. And they were like, okay, maybe we'll go ahead and we'll pull out now before we invest into putting together a new series. Thoughts on that, gentlemen?
Well, they can make all that money back, and so the only Infinity thing that they're going to have is the Infinity Wars, pretty much, with the movies. That's pretty much it. It's kind of sad when you see this, things being canceled and things being shut down. But if it's within relative reason, and if it's, okay, there are only two functions for a company, only two, and one of them is the last resort. One is to make a profit. Two, the last resort is to break even. If they didn't see either or going in or continuing, then there's no point to keep it going. So if they saw that they're just going to be losing or tanking or not making profit or whatever, it's good to get out now than try to beat a dead horse. It's kind of sad that, canceling and not doing these projects anymore is going to lose money and lose jobs. But this is Disney. They're going to make that shit back.
Yeah.
Within no time. So
with that, I'm going to disagree with you, Theme. Infinity has been extremely profitable Disney Infinity has been extremely profitable for Disney. What I think their motivation for canceling 4.0 is simply that they looked at the landscape and they saw it being overexaggerated. especially with Nintendo doing their amiibos, and then it's almost, and then Skylanders, you know.
And Warner Brothers is doing all the Lego Dimension stuff.
Disney pretty much saw the writing on the wall, and it's no longer profitable. Or I wouldn't say, I don't know, maybe they.
But that's what I was saying.
Yeah, see,
they're pretty much getting out while they're ahead.
Right?
Yeah, but I don't think it's to a point to where they'll it for it, even if they release the Infinity 4.0. But I think that
what other Disney characters can they dig into at this point?
Well, I don't think it's the Disney characters as far as
how many versions of Iron Man can you actually have?
Well, over 57 if you count the different markings of the suits from all the movies. But the thing with Disney Infinity is, and as far as the money and that they were spending on it, I don't think they were really worried about putting out new figures, because the thing about the toys and everything, that's all part of their manufacturing line and all of that. They've got that down to a science, along with all the other Disney figures that they put out. The where they probably got to is that they were saying, okay, look, this is not meeting our expected forecast as far as
there's been a lot of that lately.
Yeah, this particular game. So they decided, okay, we can go ahead and we can spend millions of dollars creating the next actual game for all the platforms across the board, or we could just cut our losses now, put out the rest of the stuff that we already have planned, and sit and call it a day. Which, look, I hate to see any sort of title or any sort of development studio disappear because of corporate decision. But I can respect where they're at, because they don't want to sit there and run the risk of oversaturating the market. I mean, you have like Gray Mouse was saying, you have Skylanders, you have the Amiibos, you have Lego Dimensions, which is run by Warner Brothers. You don't want to sit there and create. This is the thing that I equate it to. You don't want to sit there and create a situation where you have a shitload of plastic fucking guitars out there, like they did with fucking Rock Band and Guitar Hero, which for a good, I don't know, almost 3 to 5 years seemed fucking unstoppable, until they literally flooded the fucking market from so many fucking publishers with so many different versions and different fucking peripherals, where people were like, just price of entry alone into playing this fucking game is like $80 fucking dollars, and then you're gonna tell me that you've got like shitloads of fucking DLC out there that you're gonna sit there and literally nickel and dime me to death with. No, eventually, just like all things go, it died out, and people are left with a shitload of plastic guitars that they don't even fucking pick up or anything like that. I'm one of them. Shit.
People will pick up more for the NX.
That depends.
Okay.
So
Guitar Hero VR, it's coming.
Oh no, they tried to reboot that. They tried to bring that back, but that one kind of got aborted before it even got too far. Yeah. And that was a really sad one, because that was one of those retro birth abortions where they're like, "Oh, man, this isn't a year old yet. It's not human, so we can still kill it." And if you think I'm kidding about that fucking
I know you're not kidding.
Pattern, yes, that's actually been bandied about.
I know you're not kidding. That's what's so funny about it.
Yeah, but you're gonna say Gray Mouse? Yeah, I mean, it's sad to see any sort of game title get canceled or anything like that, especially when it comes from a standpoint that and this is unabashed, not hidden at all. The only reason why they pulled the plug on it was because the bean counters in charge sat there and said, we're not going to make as much money as we thought we would on this. So let's just go ahead and pull the plug.
I mean, you know, I don't see it as a downer, simply because, you know, I mean, it ran its course. 3 games is enough. It's just time to move on to something different.
I don't even know if there was that many games actually fucking published for it. I know as far as the series of figures are on the 3rd series, but I don't even think that many games were published.
I think Disney 3.0 was, it's 3 games. You got Disney Infinity, then Disney Infinity 2.0, and then 3, I believe.
I mean,
I think those are separate because each time they upgrade it, you got to get the new game or the base.
Yeah, and it was like they put out like a release every fucking year too.
Yeah. But I mean, the core game, there's only 3 core games, I believe.
Yeah.
And then you got your downloaded content or whatever you want to call it. I mean, to me, I don't see it ran its course. You know, it's better than having Final Fantasy 15. You know, or I mean, you know, these crazy numbers, so many games. You know, so they
Final Oxymoron XB. Yeah, I know that one.
You know, and it just Halo 6 or 7 or whatever it is now. You know,
Final Oxymoron VIIR. Yeah, I know that one too.
It should have stopped at 3, you know, or whatever. But so at least Disney, like, look, I think 3 is enough. We don't need to continue this on, you know. So it is what it is. I mean, I'm sure there's disappointed people that there ain't no 4.0, but at least, you know, Disney, you know, said that, hey, we're stopping production, or we're not going to be doing Disney Infinity 4.0. But,
hey,
you know,
at least they didn't get bought out by EA.
And you know, and I have to applaud them for, you know, their downloaded content, the ones that they were going to release. So, I mean, it's a done deal as far as I'm concerned. 3 games, all the downloaded content, just end it there, you know, and call it, like you said, Reverend, call it a day. Yeah.
Like I said, you know, all in all, it is their corporate decision. It is a sad thing to see any sort of title just go ahead and fall by the wayside because it didn't meet the numbers of bean counters. We've said it many, many times. The biggest problem that we have with this particular industry is creative process is controlled by bean counters who are not part of the creative process.
Right.
Which means, unfortunately, this sort of thing is going to happen again, and it's going to be the norm.
Yeah.
Now, whether or not Disney decides to go ahead and pony up to go ahead and buy Electronic Arts like they did Marvel, that remains to be seen. And yes, they probably do have the money to do so.
Oh yeah, they do.
Yeah. Well, if they bought Star Wars, you know, for how many billions of dollars, man? Sure.
4.2 billion. Yeah.
You know, they got the money.
Yeah. All right. Any other thoughts, gentlemen, on these particular 2 items?
I'm done.
Yep, I think I'm done too. With that, thank you very much, YouTube, for staying with us over the last 30 minutes. This has been our second video game news video of the week. That's pretty much it. We're going to move on to other pop culture and other entertainment media items. Stay tuned. Go ahead and follow up with the next few videos that are going to be posted up. If you're so kind, like I say, always at the end of every video, hit like, hit subscribe. Check out our channels. I got a channel. Great Mouse has got a channel. Theme's got a channel. We like comments. Make sure to leave your thoughts, especially if you think we've left anything out.
Yep.
With that, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. I am the Reverend.
The Theme here.
And I'm Gray Mouse 1.
Once again, for the benefits of common sense, logic, and gaming, and closing companies and not making any more things, I'm afraid. And don't fuck up Resident Evil 7 if you do come out with it. Damn it. Damn it. Capcom. Closing credits.
You know what? I've got this horrible thought that they're going to sit there, they're going to put a Resident Evil out, and it's going to be the Barry's Daughter edition.
We in this conference now?
I wonder how many people are going to get that.
That along, she's gonna be running around with Disney Infinity characters, and she's gonna throw them at zombies.
Ah, gee.
Don't fuck that up.